In like a week's time, I would have been flying to the other side of the world. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I'm stressed maybe. I had a nosebleed this morning in the shower, which is often a sign that I'm stressed. I don't really know what I'm stressed about. I think I'm more like excited because there is so much happening in my life right now. But it is the last date of January, it's the 31st, and oh my gosh, it's honestly crazy, you guys. Like in a week's time, okay, I would have been flying to Southeast Asia, like the other side of the world. On the 7th of February I had a flight booked, but I'm no longer boarding that flight and I am not leaving anymore. Welcome to another big update in my life. Basically, I feel like it's the right time now to share this because I have been hinting at this for quite a long time and I just need to explain what is happening, what I was planning on doing, and why I'm basically not doing that so soon anymore. I mean, it is still gonna happen, but just not right now. I was basically taking Holly Goes Solo to a new level. I was planning this huge adventure to Southeast Asia where I would be traveling, but like slow traveling around lots of Southeast Asian countries. So like Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos I think it is. But this huge Southeast Asia trip where I would essentially be living in those countries, but living and traveling and working as a digital nomad. Like I booked a one-way flight. I was literally going to be leaving the UK. I didn't know when I was going to return. I didn't know how long I would be spending out there, how long I'd be in each country, and then who knows what would have happened from there. Would I have gone to Australia? Probably, and then to New Zealand, and I would have just been traveling. There are lots of things to say about this, like why I was planning to do that. But you know, that is what I wanted to do. That was my huge plan for 2023 and beyond. I'm at a point in my life, you know, where I'm 25 years old. I love my life, yes, but you know, I also love traveling. I've fallen in love with travel. I basically just co-inhabit with my family. Like I'm financially independent, but I just don't have a place to myself. And the reason why I didn't want to move out, you know, move to London maybe or somewhere else in the UK, was because I always knew that this was my plan. I wanted to be like a digital nomad. All of my work is essentially online. I work for myself, like I do YouTube, create content, Holly Gmia, Nana, some other stuff, but everything I do is remote. And so I was like, why not take this opportunity to travel and work at the same time? Last year in 2022, that was quite a big travel year for me. I went to Thailand with my brother and then I traveled around a few countries in Europe, went to Switzerland as well. But you know, like the reason why I hadn't, you know, done this sooner, like fully left and just traveled kind of continuously, was because I needed to be back in the UK every 6 to 8 weeks to have laser hair removal done. I'm now done with that. I've had my 8 sessions and I will need more, as I'll talk about in a separate video about laser hair removal, which is very different to this one. But you know, I couldn't leave the UK whilst I was still having laser hair removal because it didn't make sense to keep flying back and forth, especially on long haul flights. So I had always planned that 2023 would be this big year when I basically take my life to a different country. And my first big trip I always knew was going to be Southeast Asia. You know, seeing Thailand last year with my brother, it changed my life and I fell in love with that place. And so yeah, at the end of last year I was basically getting ready and prepping everything for this first big trip. And this was going to be like my bridge between being at home and living with my family and then like full independence where I've got my own place. I mean, who knows, I could have, you know, really loved one particular country and then I could have decided to apply for a residency and I could have lived somewhere and I don't know, maybe hybrid live between the UK and another place. I just didn't know what was going to happen. And to me, like moving out to somewhere in the UK, like to London for example, it just didn't sound as exciting to me. I wanted something that would challenge me and push me, and traveling and solo traveling, exploring new countries whilst working and living would have truly thrown me into the deep end and I would have loved it. That was like the next stage of self-growth that I was looking for and craving. I had spoken to my family about this, but I mean in December everything kind of hit, and tell them that I would be away for an indefinite period. I didn't know how long I'd be away for, so I know that was quite hard for them to take. Deep down I know they were excited for me, but yeah, it took a lot of tough conversations, let's say. How do you truly feel, Mum? I don't have any like dependents on me or
Oh no, you haven't got dependents. Well, you've got
like,
a milker and the dog.
So why not do what I can do because I have the ability to work.
Yes, you can do. Yeah.
Why not?
You might end up being just single your whole. When that might maybe what you want to be.
Mom's worried about my relationship.
No.
It's alright, Mom, don't worry. And I mean, in some respects I was quite hesitant about doing it because, you know, it perhaps wouldn't be something that my sister would have done. And, you know, for a long time I have like lived in or followed in Em's footsteps, we could say, and I've made a lot of my decisions based on what she would or wouldn't do. But, you know, I was truly embracing my goals and ambitions and just, you know, making these decisions for myself. Now, when I say I was fully doing this, like, I had so many things in place and plans ready and things booked. In December, if you watched one of my Vlogmas episodes, I booked a flight. I didn't actually say at the time where I was going. I was just so excited and I wanted to share that moment with you guys.
Right, hold on.
It was a one-way flight to Thailand, and I was choosing to start in Thailand just because I was familiar with that country and I thought that I would like to settle there first before I explored other places. So I had a flight. I'd also booked my first month of accommodation in Chiang Mai. I'd found this really cool apartment. I found it through booking.com. It was in a really cool area, and Chiang Mai is like a hotspot for digital nomads, so I knew that that was the place I wanted to be, and I loved Chiang Mai. That's where we saw the elephants, we met Pappy, we stayed in a really cool posh hotel. I'd also then blocked out a rough itinerary. So you guys know for my trips I always make itineraries, and with this one it was very hard to kind of do that, but I was blocking things out like month by month and like where I'd want to go and stay and for how long, and looking at visas and everything. I'd been doing so much research, and although I would be planning a lot of it as I went along my trip and my travels because, you know, I wanted to be flexible, I just wanted to block out to see, you know, what would kind of happen. So I had that, and that itinerary lasted for like the whole of 2023 pretty much. At the very start of January, so it was a great start to the new year, I had travel vaccinations, 2 in one arm and 1 in the other. I was just like, I may as well get them all done.
Which side do you want to start on this?
Yeah, we'll go with this one. Oh, shuffle forward.
Because otherwise I'm going to be blocking the whole screen. Right, let your arm relax. Okay. You can talk. Good.
Is that it?
That one's done.
Oh wow.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Wait till later, when your arm's really achy.
Yeah, then I'll be like,
Here we go, last one. That's it.
Cool.
Alright.
Yep.
All done.
Thank you. Typhoid, Hep A, tetanus.
Cool.
So we've been vaccinated. I was vaccinated 6 hours ago. It's like 10 PM. I had them at 4 PM. My arms are just like really achy right now. That's literally the only side effect I have so far. My nurse who did it, she's honestly so nice, but she said I could feel a bit like under the weather, get some like cold symptoms, but I think it'll be fine. Tetanus was like a booster. You have that as like diphtheria, tetanus and polio, 3 in 1. And then the typhoid and the Hep A, they're like both waterborne diseases. I basically decided that I just wanted these 3. I had a very long chat with my nurse about all of this, and we both kind of came to the conclusion that based on what I'm going to be doing, these 3 will be okay. I didn't have to pay for these. You do have to pay for some travel vaccinations. It just depends on what you get. And yeah, I did this all through the NHS, and it was really quick actually. Like, I had an appointment with my nurse and then we booked it in for the new year, so it's currently the 3rd of January, by the way. So that's the 4th thing I did. And then the 5th is that I decided to like have a routine blood test to look at like, you know, my hormone levels, vitamin levels, primarily my hormone levels really, because that is something I was kind of interested in seeing. And then the 6th thing I had done was just like a routine dentist appointment, which was literally 5 minutes, because my dentist was like, you're doing a good job at brushing your teeth, and I was like, great, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. I was basically getting ready to leave and to move my whole life to the other side of the world. See, I was moving out, and it was honestly crazy. I was honestly so excited and just buzzing, literally. I really don't know how I would have been feeling right now if this were all going to plan, because basically we need to talk about the fact that I am no longer boarding that flight on the 7th of February, so next week. For a couple of main reasons, I am now delaying this trip. So the first one is related to what I said about the blood test results. That has kind of led to a few different health investigations, and then I have some other ones in parallel that are kind of separate. You know, I will be talking about this online just because the biology geek in me gets so excited about this stuff, and I know it's personal, but you know, I feel like we can all learn from these experiences, including myself. And as I've talked about in videos, like, those are the things that aren't so great in my life right now because it was very unexpected, and I just need to prioritize my health, you know, before I leave basically and go to the other side of the world. Like, I need to work out what's going on and make sure I am healthy, which I am, but there are just some things that the nurses and doctors I've spoken to and that are helping me want to get to the bottom of, we could say. Like, these investigations are going better than I thought they would be, and the results are more positive than I expected. But as I said, I'm saving that for another video just once I have all the answers myself. But the second is probably, as you guys know, quite obvious by this point. You know, I am now in a relationship. As you guys know, I have met Angelo, someone who has changed my whole entire life in the best way possible. It was essentially the elephant in the room when Angelo and I were like dating and talking and stuff before we made it official, we could say. You know, I was going to be leaving the UK on the 7th, and bear in mind, we met for the first time, even though we had been speaking before this, but we met for the first time on the 19th of December. And we did have these conversations because we knew that we both liked each other. We were very much on the same page, but I was just going away. I was going to be leaving the UK and I didn't know when I'd come back. And that was scary for me and Angela as well, because, you know, things were going really well for us. And I feel like that would have interrupted what we had going. Angelo had said that he was fully willing to come out and travel with me and then fly back to the UK and stuff because his job is not fully remote, essentially. It meant a lot to me that Angelo was willing to do that. But, you know, I know that any partnership and relationship is a two-way thing. It takes two people to tango, right? If somebody is going to make a compromise, the other one also has to make a compromise, so you find a middle ground. And I was like, you know what? I just need to delay me going away. I didn't feel like I needed to do that at all, but I wanted to do that. I knew that what Angelo and I had together was so special, and I just couldn't go away. Like, it was a no-brainer for me. So I did make that decision. I made it pretty quickly because, as I said, the answer was right there in front of me. Like, I'm very indecisive, but this decision was made so easily. And I obviously told Angelo that, but, you know, both of us are very interested in travel. We love exploring and stuff. So in short, we're basically going to be doing it together. You know, I'm delaying going away because it's going to give us more time in the UK to sort our stuff out. I won't go into too many details in this video because we are still working it out between us. But by like March, April, we kind of want to be in a situation where we can both leave the UK and travel and then work and do everything remotely. Both of us are so excited by this. And if we can both do that together, honestly, it's going to be insanely cool. I am next level excited, okay? Like, I was excited before, but now I'm like through the roof, crazy child energy buzzing, okay? Like, it's gonna be the best thing ever and I cannot wait. We've already started doing some planning and thinking about stuff. I guess the other thing that I will say to end this video to get you guys excited as well, because I'm also so excited about this. Again, this has kind of happened spontaneously and we didn't really plan this entirely, but we're basically going to America. We're going to LA for a week over Valentine's Day, which is so cool. I've only been to New York and America. Angelo's never been to America, so this is gonna be so fun, and I cannot wait for that. There is also other really exciting stuff happening in the UK before, you know, we go away. We are going to be starting with Asia as I planned, but as I said, there are lots of things that seem to be happening in the UK now that I'm not flying, and I would have loved to have taken up these opportunities, and I now can do because I'm not flying so soon. But yeah, it's honestly crazy and just mad how all things fall into place. And this is why I genuinely believe that everything happens for a reason. Like, had I not been having laser hair removal, I probably would have done this sooner, but then I wouldn't have met Angelo, and you know, I wouldn't have had these other exciting opportunities, and my life just wouldn't have been changed in the best way. So yeah, it honestly makes me smile so much. 2023 is going to be a crazy year in so many ways. So yeah, I'm sorry this was like a whirlwind of a video and probably very overwhelming, but you know, I am also very overwhelmed because there is so much going on. But I mean, I'm not complaining because everything just makes me so happy. Definitely like this video if you enjoyed it and are excited for everything happening this year. I mean, if you do have any questions, feel free to comment those down below. And if you have any LA recommendations, also leave those down below because we are planning what we're going to be doing in our week. I mean, it's a very short trip just because of the way things have turned out. But yeah, and if you want to subscribe for loads more crazy stuff, then definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell so you know when I upload. But yeah, I feel like I've missed something in this video. I always feel like I missed something in these updates, but you know, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And as always, I'll speak to you very soon in another video. bye. I honestly can't speak because I'm just buzzing. There is so much energy pumping through my blood right now. That's a very strange vlog. This one is they're making very strange things that
make it look a bit weird.
I got my bead earrings in. Cute. Well, what is happening with this hair? Why things have changed. Sorry, plant, I'm hitting you.
You came the t-shirt underneath. Well,
yes.
Excellent. What the frick? What the frick? What the frick? Oh, excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
Where does time freaking go? Honestly, I don't even know. And then we'll talk through. I keep hitting this plant. I feel so bad. My desk is a state. You know, if you're overwhelmed, I'm also overwhelmed. Sorry, I'm kicking the bin. Thank you so much.
Okay?
Yes,
yeah.
I feel great.
Good.
No different.
Very well.
It's very hard to explain all this, and now my camera battery is like flashing at me. So I guess I need to change that. Excuse me.